Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Occupy Democrat show from the great city of St. Louis. I'm Mark Bland.
I am Jason Cole.
And we are back. We got our shirts on today. I went All Valley Karate. He's
Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats.
Don't even know who that is.
Fantastic British band.
They're a fantastic British band no one's ever heard of.
Well, no one.
No one named
No
Mark.
one not cool.
No one not cool. Wrong. Wrong. Because at the end of last show, guess what we figured out?
Right. We're all cool.
Mark's cool. We figured that out real quick.
No, really good band. Some people should check them out.
Well, Jason, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, it sucks, right?
Do you know why I'm disappointed, Jason?
I could guess.
What would your guess be if you took a wild shot in the world?
My guess would be a very irresponsible tax bill just got passed. Maybe. I don't know.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A crazy, stupid, over-the-top, dumb, big, ugly, stupid bill just got passed, and now we are stuck with Medicaid and SNAP benefits getting killed for quite a few people and around the country.
You got a little bit yet, but it's coming.
Remember, everything is done over a 4-year period, over this many years, and we rolled it all together.
They were sly enough to make sure these SNAP benefit cuts didn't happen until after the midterms. So,
and then,
good job, guys.
On top of it, Jason, to make things worse, instead of just getting to it and getting the bill passed after weeks and weeks of talking about it, Hakeem Jeffries had to stand up there and say a bunch of things. And I'm not knocking the idea of using the rules to your advantage.
It was a valiant attempt, but you know what? You're not dealing with the Republicans that he's used to when he was a kid.
But they don't care.
That's what I'm saying. They're different. Like in 1985, the delaying a vote for 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever he did, might have worked. You might have been able to sit down a few of them and say, hey, this is not in the best interest of the country. That's not working now.
This Hakeem Jeffries situation isn't really working for me. Listen, I've gone out on my show before and talked about different politicians and that I didn't really rock with. I don't rock with Hakeem Jeffries. I'm not against Hakeem Jeffries. I don't mind that Hakeem Jeffries is where he's at. I don't think that he should be what you guys consider the leading candidate to handle anything in the House. I don't think he's the strongest. I don't think he's the best. I do think that there were decisions made because of other reasons. And we all know that's why those things. And I'm sick of that. I think that that's what David Hogg was sick of. I think people are becoming a little disenfranchised because the big, beautiful bill just got passed. You talked for 8 to 10 hours straight, bro. Nothing changed anything. None of your colleagues stood up. No one is stopping anything. Now he knows he can push all of his Republicans around in the Senate and Congress. And he knows, because he's got the numbers, he can push you guys around and you're not really going to fight back at all. He's going to keep doing it until everything is gone. We've seen the Project 2025 argument. By the way, for all of you out there, next thing on the chopping block is VA benefits, Veterans Affairs, America first. I love my military. Yeah. So much so that between 1966 and 1972, I couldn't even find a way to get into it.
So bone spurs, man. It's
bone
difficult.
spurs.
That's
Stopped him.
It's just a rough thing.
That's how America first he is. That's how
what
much
a
he
terrible
respects
childhood.
you guys. He told John McCain specifically and his family, I didn't respect John McCain. I like my soldiers to not get caught and put into the Hanoi Hilton. I like my soldiers to be ones that don't get killed in warfare. That's what he said about dead American soldiers who gave their life for you and your family before today.
You would think they would remember some of these things.
They don't.
Because Republicans are vets too.
Now, you're not going to like what I have to say next. Because at some point, some of us are going to start cheering Donald Trump on. And we're not going to cheer him on because we like Donald Trump. Oh, no. Quite the opposite. I see that he is playing a mutually assured destruction game, which is fine with me. If you want to go after all the Medicare, all the benefits, all the VA, please be my guest. Rip it all away from every single one of your voters. I want them so desolate and begging for mercy that they literally will do anything to rid this earth of the scourge that has happened.
You know, he really is making this a rich man's game. Like, America
be a rich
is
man
a
all
rich
you want.
man's game.
You know, I know another rich man. He was the healthcare CEO of United Healthcare. He was rich.
Yeah,
he had a
rich,
lot
man.
of money in his bank
Good.
account. He didn't make it to that meeting that day. All the money in the world, all his connects, all the Donald Trump meetings that he ever had, all of it meant nothing. Literally meant nothing because he bled out on a street for no reason. I'm not advocating for violence at all. I don't like violence. I don't want to see violence. I don't want to see any blood in the streets. I don't want to see anything. But we were the ones who came on our show and said, well before it happened during the campaign trail last year, that there would be bloodshed on the campaign trail for the 2024 election. And there was.
Oh, the rhetoric alone, just it's like a meteorologist looking at the info they get. It's not hard to say that this could happen.
Give me my camera over here. This is why we are here, ladies and gentlemen. This is why me and Jason have this job now. We are great at reading the road, reading the map, seeing where these things are going. You don't understand. They're going to ruin it all. So if they're going to ruin it all, they're going to ruin it for their people too. If they're going to ruin it for their people too, might be the only way to get their people to understand how dumb their people are. Literally, if you want to be a St. Louis Republican and come into this studio on any given day, I'll tell you you're an idiot to your face. Literally.
You know, they are set up politically in a different situation than most Republicans because they can tell their base anything and they'll believe it. He's going to tell them, I didn't cut that, and they'll believe it.
By the way, Jason,
yes.
We host a podcast here.
Yeah.
You know, one of the big problems that a lot of the liberal side had in the 2024 election was they thought Joe Rogan and everybody on the podcast world and everybody in social media had the ear of the Donald Trump supporters. And so that's why it worked out better for them than the liberals. So they went around looking for the Midas touch to make three brothers look important. Three brothers who are doing what? I don't hear them talking about wanting to punch anyone in any faces. I don't hear them talking about wanting to change anything. They said the big, beautiful bill sucked too. So there you go.
That's not a stretch.
They're no different than me and Jay. So where's the difference? Why does the liberal side not have the same things as the Joe Rogan side? I'll tell you why. Liberals don't like to play ball. I've got a show called the Occupy Democrats Show. By the way, before Midas Touch, before Lincoln Project, guess who ran the world of social media for liberalism in the United States? To the point where they were so good at it, they handled it for Biden and Harris for 4 years. Guess who? Occupy Democrats.
That's true.
Based off of Occupy Wall Street from 2012. No Midas, no Lincoln, Rick Scott and all those guys, all those dudes, is it Rick Scott, whatever his name is, Rick whatever, like Philip Bukowski and all that, those guys were just doing stuff on their own for their local newspapers and whatever. In 2012, they weren't even doing any of this stuff. Occupy was. They were helping you figure out what you needed to know. And that's why we're here now, Jason, because we are bringing this back. We are not going to let it. At some point, liberals, you're going to have to fight back. This might become a physical issue. Because at the rate he's going by 2026 midterms, he's going to have destroyed almost all of your typical foundations that you've come to rely on for the last 50 to 100 years.
Well, he'll be on the way. Like I said, they set up some of these cuts to take place after the midterm. That was very sly.
Sure, but it doesn't matter. All of it's going to happen. We said the battle's going to happen at the midterms. He's going to try to lay it in place because by 2028, he needs that in the books. He can't be worried about trying to figure out if voting is going to work right one way or the other by 2028. He needs to know this is how we're going to handle this because I need to rig it. Guys, he's going to rig the election. He's going to rig the 2026 midterms. You think you're going to win? Go ahead, Joe.
No, I was going to say they should focus less on Donald Trump and focus more on the Republicans that are passing these bills. Let's just focus on the bill and what's coming because everyone knows, even the people that support Donald Trump know he's a terrible person and they make jokes about it. So that just doesn't work anymore. All right, America, you can't telling
He's a puppet.
tell them if someone's terrible, it just doesn't work anymore. America's used to terrible people.
I can understand this though, Jason.
Yes.
And I'll explain why. I think he's a puppet now. And because he's a puppet, he's got a lot of people around him that are pulling strings too. And they're doing all the things they want to do, like the Laura Loomers and all that with the alligator Alcatraz, all this stupid stuff. They're doing the things that they want because he's giving them the okay to do it. He's not really paying attention. Then they'll ask him questions. He'll say, push it off 2 weeks, this, no, maybe, haul, like that. His thing is, I'm just being puppeted. This is Stephen Miller's decision to do this over here. And that's Laura Loomer's. And this is Susie Wiles. And this is this person's. And this is this person's. And it looks like I'm doing it all. But think about this. I'm passing the big, beautiful bill. At the same time, I'm fighting the Iran-Israeli war. At the same time, I'm trying to fix the Ukraine-Russian war. At the exact same time, I'm going to cut the Medicaid and the Medicare. At the same time of that, I'm going to fight with people in the streets over racism and protest with ICE. And at the same time of that, I'm going to do this. And by the way, Jason, we've mentioned this on the show before. What he's done in the last 5 to 6 months is what we would have normally talked about over a 2 to 3 year period in a news cycle.
Yeah.
Like literally the big, beautiful bill would be the only big main piece. Like the infrastructure bill was for Biden. Yeah. That would be the big thing of one term that you talk about. Oh, remember when he got the big, beautiful bill passed? That was the one thing. No, this dude is throwing baloney on the wall as fast as he can, and everything is trying to stick. Yeah, everything.
You know what he is? He's a guy that's been invited to a party filled with terrible people.
Yeah.
But he's there to steal the diamonds.
Sure.
So that's why he doesn't seem involved or really care. That's why we're selling stuff. We're doing cologne. We're doing this. We're doing that. Because he's just there for the grift. Your reasonings and your other BS, he really actually doesn't care about that.
And what was really sad about this big, beautiful bill situation was some of the people on their side saw the grift. We brought up Lisa Murkowski.
Yeah.
She saw the grift, Jay.
We have a video of her.
We do?
Yeah.
Throw that bad boy up. Let's take a look at it.
This is before it passed. They only passed the Senate.
Oh, this is before it passed.
Passed the House. This is after she voted yes for it in the Senate. This is what she says.
All right. Let's take a look.
Do I like this bill? No, because I tried to take care of Alaska's interests. But I know that in many parts of the country, there are Americans that are not going to be advantaged by this bill. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that we moved through an artificial deadline, an artificial timeline to produce something to meet a deadline rather than to actually try to produce the best bill for the country. But when I saw the direction that this is going, you can either say, I don't like it and not try to help my state, or you can roll up your sleeves.
Yeah, so see, there you have it. She knows that there will be people in this country who will not be advantaged by this bill, and she voted yes anyway. All right, she would have you believe that she was just looking out for Alaskans. But the truth is, she's just a coward. She's afraid of Trump and her own constituents, which is an insane thing to think about. But you want to hear something about Alaska? So the average SNAP benefit per person in Alaska as of 2023 is $376, second only to Hawaii. So a state that already has the second highest average benefit now has protections against losing any of that. But
you know how you can fix all this, Jay?
Yeah.
Like, I choked trying to talk to you there because it's verklempt me. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I'll give you a topic. Brown butter. Should it be brown or should it be butter? Which one? Okay. How about you just say no?
Yeah.
Right, Jay?
No, I mean, but
she said on that video right there, I don't like this bill. I don't like what it, and by the way, really pay attention to one important part of that. Excuse me. Pay attention to one really important part of that, Jason. Mm-hmm. She said, in other parts of the country, I know that people are going to be affected by this badly. Wait a second. You just said that you worry about your own constituents in your own area. What if you lived in Florida? What if you were a congressperson or a senator from Texas? Those are your constituents then. So if it's going to affect people badly in your part of the country and you don't want it, and you know it's going to affect bad people in the other parts of the country and you don't want it,
then
why did you just say no in the first place?
See, that's my point. She knows the rest of the country does not have those protections, and she voted yes anyway. So you ask why we use 2023 data. It's because the 2024 data is not available. So their per person, that might even be higher. We just don't know yet. But so from that data, we can see that 17 of the top 20 states that rely on federal aid the most are red states.
Really?
Yes, that's 85%.
I'm so surprised.
85% of the top 20 states that rely on federal money, red states. And even when you get down to the top 30, it doesn't really get any better.
Is that federal money for Medicaid and Medicare and
all
SNAP and all
federal
that?
benefits.
Oh, okay. I'm just double-checking.
77% of that aid goes to red states of the top 30. So yeah,
Amazing.
Republicans, you voted for this bill. You're going to implement these changes.
Yeah.
But you will not be able to blame this on Joe Biden.
Nope.
Or anyone else
Joe Biden's not there.
other than yourselves.
AOC's not president. Hakeem Jeffries and the Congress people, they don't have control of the House.
I do not.
So, ladies and gentlemen, like Jason just said, this is going to be Donald Trump's to own 100% across the board.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Murkowski also pointed out, like I said, other parts of the country. Remember, your experiences and how you view the world are based off of where you live and what you deal with on a day-to-day basis. You don't live in St. Louis and have a New York City style life. You don't live in San Francisco and have a Phoenix, Arizona style life. Where you live is where they make the decisions for your people. Now, if you can spread that out across the country with the wave of your hand very easily, guess what? The way they view you, screw Alaska. Hey, I'm from St. Louis, right here, right now. Screw Alaska. Don't need them. What do? You don't do nothing. I've got an entire military that could set up things along the borders of Canada and other countries. Maybe not anymore. We've lost them as an ally. But I would assume they're going to protect their own borders with their military and aircraft. So I guess we're okay there. So we don't need Alaska. We don't need you. We don't need Lisa Murkowski. We don't need any of you red states. None of you. Didn't need you in the Civil War either. You all seceded. Everybody in the North won and prospered.
We did.
There it is.
You know, I get it. I understand why Alaska and Hawaii are the top two. You know, they're unconnected states. It's a little expensive.
What about Puerto
together.
Rico, who happens to be a Commonwealth?
Yeah, they didn't list that. They didn't list the
Oh, well,
territories.
because those are dirty foreign
they
people, right?
But they're still well over $100 more per person, and that's only going to get worse now because these people are going to lose benefits. So the average benefit for other states is going to go down, except for Alaska. Potentially,
Except for
Hawaii.
not in this case. No, they took it out, remember? Byrd acted.
No, that's what I'm saying, except for Alaska. Alaska's the only one.
But Alaska didn't get exempt. They are now a part of everybody else.
Well, they
didn't get their exemption.
So
she voted anyway for it, but they turned the exemption down.
It's in there. It's in there. It's in a different way with the way the Senate did it with that parliamentarian. But she still has her carve out.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you 100% sure
Pretty
on
certain.
that?
Pretty certain.
Well, now, just hate Alaska, all of you.
Yeah.
Just hate them. They suck. They don't matter as people. We're moving on. Nope, we're not trying to get rid of you. We don't. Just go away. Just stay up there and just.
I mean, you could say
24 hours of daylight, 17 months out of the year. Just deal with it. That's your problem. I don't care.
I mean, you could say that they didn't care about the rest of the country.
They
you
didn't.
wouldn't be wrong.
Lisa Murkowski just explained.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad for the rest of the country. I still gave Trump my vote. I'm a loser. I'm an idiot. She's the girl at the bar that just tells every dude yes. And every dude at the bar knows it. And they say it on Friday night. So-and-so's going to be here. She's going to tell someone yes again. Oh, what do you want? Oh, I'll do that for you. I carved that out.
And you know, it's interesting because she's in a safe state. She's not really she polls well there. She's well thought of. She works hard for her state. She does things like this for him. To bow to Donald Trump makes no sense for her.
It doesn't. And by the way, there were other senators and congresspeople like her.
Yeah.
They're Republican. They were not cool on this bill. Tillis stepped away.
Yeah, you're
like
retired.
There's people that literally left.
Like, think about that, Lisa Murkowski. Tom Tillis said, you know what? I'm just not going to run again so I can vote no. That's real courage.
He cared more about St. Louisans losing their SNAP benefits, and he left his job. Lisa Murkowski, worthless hack.
I would assume Tom Tillis cared more about like the debt, but in a way, still the benefits. But he still,
my point is,
he didn't look at his area was fine. He looked at the nation as a whole, and sometimes that's what's needed.
Well, Jason, I could sit here all day and talk about the big, beautiful bill and how shitty it is. But
Yeah,
I'd like to move on. I really would.
Just win the midterms, and all this ends.
There's
Just
no win the midterms, Jay. Guys, I can't say it enough. There's no win the midterms. There's no midterms.
That could possibly
You
be.
guys are
That'd be
missing
insane,
the point. What better time to start a civil war than the last time, the celebration of the 250th year anniversary of the Revolutionary War of 1776. What better year to try to save our country again and rid the evil out of it? Well, let me explain to you where we're going with this, boys and girls. Get my Mom Donnie video ready to go. The U.S. Department of Justice under the Trump administration, Jason, has signaled a push to expand denaturalization efforts targeting naturalized citizens, potentially for political reasons, as outlined in a June 11th memo titled Civil Division Enforcement Priorities. Did you hear what I just said? Civil Division Enforcement Priorities. So priorities for civil division and the enforcement of that. Wait. To create division? To physically create and enforce division. The memo authored by some attorney general's assistant, it doesn't matter the name of this loser, who cares, prioritizes denaturalization cases, particularly those involving individuals deemed a potential danger to national security, including ties to terrorism. The broad language raises concerns about politically motivated citizenship revocations, with fears that vague definitions could target naturalized citizens for their political views or affiliations. For instance, the case of Zohran Mamdani, a naturalized citizen and New York City mayoral candidate, has drawn scrutiny over a rap performance linked to a nonprofit tied to Hamas. Legal experts warn that this approach could create a chilling effect, discouraging political participation among naturalized citizens. Oh, that'd be like me and you, Jason. We're naturalized citizens, and we discuss political participation. That's us. That's you and me. Create a chilling effect, discouraging political participation among naturalized citizens and fostering a tiered citizenship system. The haves and the have-nots.
That's getting wider.
Civil division. Enforcement, Jason. Yeah, it will lead to civil war. Tell all the liberal voters to grab their guns and be prepared to die for their lives and families. That's it. Be ready. Guys, I've said this before. I feel this should catch on. Jason, help me try to make this viral. This is a coup in slow motion. You're watching a coup in slow motion of the United States government by its president. He tried the coup once before. That was January 6th. Yep. Everybody got arrested. Good people were in the government. All the bad people had to go to jail. That's what was supposed to happen. Then he let them all out of jail. And then he did all the things Mark and Jason said he would do. And then he did more of the things Mark and Jason said he would do. And then all the things Mark and Jason said he would do in 2023, he did those in 2024. And then when they said there would be bloodshed on the trail, then he got shot at and almost killed. And then when they did this happened. And then when Mark and Jason said that happened. And when they said this about Lisa Murkowski, that's what they meant. And when they said this about so-and-so, that's what they meant. Do you not understand? Now they're coming for me and Jay. You watch from your laptop at Donut Hut. Not a knock on you for having a job or being a citizen of the United States of America. But there are people that are really getting gunned at in this situation.
Yeah, sure.
And Jason and me are going to be high on that list, it looks like. And this video right here, this is what I want you all to watch. This is Donald Trump discussing Zohran Mamdani after he, by the way, Zohran Mamdani won the primary for the Democratic Party to be mayor of New York City.
Yeah, he hasn't even won anything.
He hasn't
yet.
even won the mayorship yet. He hasn't even gone against Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, yet. That's coming
They
up
haven't even
this
had a
November.
debate.
That's coming up in November.
Yeah.
Do you understand? We still got to get to November for this to even happen. Listen to what Donald Trump says right here.
Mr. President, your beloved New York City. Your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zorhan Mandami, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zorhan Mandami.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the...
What complete loser in the press pool asked that question?
Oh,
good
probably
God.
somebody with a beanie.
Oh, my God.
Probably somebody with a beanie. For
Whoever
sure.
that was, you are a loser.
Absolute loser.
Loser.
top
You
of the-
have some on your face.
Like,
oh,
I
my
get-
God.
See, like on the screen, you guys see I get to the top, and then I go past your screen. Like, that's how high up of a loser.
That God, that would Jesus Christ, is that's his press conferences, Mr. President? How hard is it to be so awesome? Like, F you, man. What a
When he was
stupid
asked
question.
about Mamdani, he said, then we're going to have to arrest him. Why? Because he has a different opinion. So Donald Trump has been dealing with people having different opinions than him his whole life. All of you politicians, Lisa Murkowski included, same thing. You've been dealing with human beings having a different opinion your whole life.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, they should die for it? They should get arrested for it? They should get beaten for it? ICE should come down and hit them and hammer them and this or that? Why?
You know, think about it.
And by the way, immigration case or emergency, whatever it is, it's immigration. Why would ICE want to come after naturalized citizens or people that were born in the United States at all? Even if you're trying to denaturalize us, why would it be ICE? What does ICE stand for? Oh, I know. In case of emergency. See, when I call it in case of emergency, now I can use it for whatever I want. It becomes my brown shirts, the brown shirts that Adolf Hitler used in World War II to go around and grab people like Anne Frank. That's where we're going. That's what they're becoming. So all of you, listen, in St. Louis and around America, there is Quick Trips. You been to Quick Trip, Jay?
I have been to Quick Trip.
Love Quick Trip, right? Quick Trip's great. It's got a lot of different drum. Free zonies are going on there. Quick Trip. Hey, Quick
Got
Trip.
multiple entryways.
Throw some money to me and Jay over here. Well, listen, we're promoting the hell out of you here,
Yeah,
okay?
bring some of those chicken rolls.
Yeah, throw some of those Tostinos
Those
or
buffalo
the
chicken
Buffalo Chico
rolls.
rolls or whatever
That's
it
good
is, like
stuff.
some hot dogs, whatever. Give me some of that Rooster Booster, right? Rooster Booster. Give me that
We all
Rooster
wired up.
Booster.
But you know what? You're not wrong, though, because they first came after the 14th Amendment, wanted to get the
Right.
kids who were born here. Now we're going to go after naturalized citizens, people who went through the process and taken the test.
Right.
Borns are all that's left.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, the reason I brought up Quick Trip was simply this. Quick Trip started as a gas station.
Huh?
Then they wanted to become a McDonald's out of the blue.
They do have a cafe.
Now they sell beer.
They do. It's pretty expensive, though.
Okay. My point simply is with things like this, we can keep trying to change the goalpost or change the value or change the whatever. But there's going to be things that are just not going to work sometimes, things that just don't come to fruition, things that don't seem to like have value. One of those things would be going after naturalized citizens. They're from here. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, they went through the process of citizenship and everything, took the test and all that.
In case of emergency. Now I'm Quick Trip again. I can be McDonald's. I could be a beer distributor. I could be a gas station. I could be a this. I could be a that. That's what this ICE is.
Again, going after people who came here and did it the right way, naturalized citizens, did exactly what Republicans say they want to do. And we're going to start after them now
That's right.
because we don't like the way they think. And
Guys, America's the biggest dog on the
right?
block, Jay.
Indoctrination. Remember that word, Republicans?
Well, if you remember just a few weeks ago, Jason, on this show, I brought up remigration.
Yeah.
You guys didn't hear it. I already said it. You can go back and find it on that show. I can go back and find it through via the transcript. Remigration. Weeks ago, I brought it up. The idea of taking naturalized citizens and just deporting them.
Say back to where you came from.
Right back to it. June 11th, right here. A June 11th memo. We're at the end. We're in July now. That's a June 11th memo where they were talking about that.
Yeah, we're a week away from that being a month old.
Do you understand? These are things almost as many bologna slices as I can get at the wall. As many.
Yeah, it's all distractive politics. That's what Donald Trump does. Everything's a distraction. It's like Ocean's 11, but in politics, and he's stealing everything. That's exactly what's going on. Everyone in that movie that does a thing to distract or confuse are all people in his administration. They do what they're supposed to do to distract and confuse, so you don't pay attention to what's going on.
Guys, there's no other end game to this. This does not end with Donald Trump being deposed by the Republican Party. This does not end with Donald Trump going, I feel like I just want to retire today. This does not end with any of that. This doesn't end with Hakeem Jeffries talking for 8 hours. This doesn't end. What's next? VA, I just said it. Remigration, the next thing also. We just talked about it. All of it's going to happen. They're going to keep doing it. They're going to take it all away from you. And that's why I said the Dems are going to start cheering. Yeah. Because at a certain point, it's going to just be shooting yourself in the foot on purpose.
You know, we're not even to the point where tariffs are taking effect yet. We're already in this sort of cycle of just spinning around. The stock will go up for a little bit. And it's that. I mean, we're 5 months in, and he's just now above what Biden left. Like normally in a presidency, you get the mantle of highest stock market like 3 days after you take over. It took him 5 months.
Can you throw up the picture of James Carville for me real quick? And
that's my man.
What do they call him?
The Raging Cajun.
The Raging Cajun.
Married to a Republican.
Strategist James Carville expressed alarm over President Donald Trump's potential to manipulate the 2026 midterm elections to maintain Republican control of Congress. Speaking on the Jim Acosta show, Carville told host Jim Acosta that he deeply is concerned about Trump and allies like Stephen Miller interfering with the electoral process. Carville warned, I don't put anything past him, suggesting Trump might even attempt to cancel the midterms to prevent Democrats from gaining committee gavels and subpoena powers. With the election still a year and a half away, Trump is already fundraising, endorsing candidates, and strategizing to secure GOP majorities. No, he's not. It's everyone behind him. He's busy golfing. He's not doing any strategizing at all. I'm not done yet. Carville's fears are heightened by Trump's past actions, including a January 6th Capitol riot. Remember that insurrection? Where supporters tried to keep him in power. Carville urged vigilance, stating, you have every reason to be scared. Don't kid yourself, emphasizing the high stakes for Democratic accountability. James Carville, ladies and gentlemen, right there, that gentleman, also thinks Donald Trump's going to stop the midterms, try to do everything in his power to take your VA benefits, everything I just stated. Guys, I spent a half an hour now telling you everything, my remigration, all of it. Jason, this show by itself, you can go back to the first half hour of it and the next 20 things that are going to roll out over the next 3 years. I swear to God, you can pull a clip of us talking about it in this first half hour. All of it. And by the time we get there, it'll be years down the road. You'll look back and you'll be like, oh, I remember the big, beautiful bill. That was 2024 or 2025 way back then. I remember that. That was cool. Until Donald Trump calls for a purge of American citizens that need to be gone. And when I don't have enough ICE, and when my military doesn't do what I need them to do, I set up the siren. I play the new Founding Fathers of America intro. And then I say at 7 p.m. for the next 12 hours, everything in America is legal, including murder. And then I set them all out on each other. And I use my civil division enforcement group to keep that division running, Jay, for 12 hours. And whoever gets gunned in that 12 hours, well, that's it. It's The Purge. It's a movie. Another movie I watched. Another thing I saw, alligator Alcatraz. I saw Bad Boys 2. They were in the swamps with the KKK, and Martin Lawrence and Will Smith were there. And then they spun around and whipped their stuff off, and they were there. And then there were alligators. I saw them chomp at them. Oh, what if those alligators ate them up? We'll put them in tents in alligator cities.
You know, apparently that's already flooding. It's not even hurricane season yet. Like,
It's flooding already?
Yeah, it's
wow.
collecting water from the limited rain.
Amazing,
whatever
ladies
they've
and
had.
gentlemen. We've already got flooding at the tent city for alligator
I don't know how
Alcatraz.
significant it is. I just know it's already collecting water.
Alligator Auschwitz? Auschwitz?
Yeah,
Alligator
that's what
Auschwitz?
someone said.
Somebody said that.
But you know what? That probably only excites them more. You're going to see that. They'll make those kind of shirts. You know, Donald Trump pardoned a guy that had a Camp Auschwitz hoodie on January 6th, just in case anyone forgot.
Jay, I want you to know something, and I'll take this break here in a second. I'll pull the tweet up, and I'll put it right on camera so everybody can see it. I had a conversation with one of them today on that specific video showing the flooding, and their response was, good.
Good. These people have not done anything.
Good. Listen, you're fat and eat donuts and can barely run.
Like,
sorry, if you're just fat and you just stay fat and you're eating donuts and you can barely run, what value do you serve to the United States of America? Tell me. Oh, well, I work over here at Granger and I sell slip parts for blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Nobody cares about that. Nobody buys that. You know what people buy? Prostitutes.
Yeah.
P. Diddy did.
Yeah.
Prostitutes. That's what people buy. You know who else bought prostitutes? Anybody, Jay? Anybody on the top of your mind come to
I wouldn't
that
be
bought a prostitute? A famous prostitute?
I wouldn't be surprised that he has, but
Stormy Daniels, bro.
yeah. I mean, she's a
Stormy
prostitute.
Daniels. That's prostitution. You paid me for sex.
Yeah,
I don't care
paid
if she
after,
tries
yeah.
to say I make movies, so I'm a movie star. No. All that. All of that. Seriously.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that down the road we find out that he has bought the services of a lady of the night. That would not surprise me
Stormy Daniels. She said that he did it.
Yeah.
Paid him $100,000 plus.
Yeah, to not talk about it.
To have sex with him.
And he
Guys,
got 34 felony convictions for trying to cover it up.
Every accusation is an admission of guilt. If they point at you with one finger, they got 3 fingers pointing right back at them every single time. We're going to take a quick break here on the show. When we come back, I've got a few fun things for us to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And, and by the way, all of the stuff we've just discussed in this first segment, lawfare. It's literally the thing that Donald Trump complained about.
Yeah,
the
right?
entire time he was trying to get convicted for 34 felony convictions. That it was lawfare. That Joe Biden, Southern District of New York, had nothing to do with Joe Biden or the country. Joe Biden was using lawfare to take him down, and it was unfair. First thing he does, right here, we just had the story. I'm going to denaturalize citizens. Lawfare. Because of politics. Lawfare. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more with myself and Jason Cole. We'll be back.
Before we jump out,
What?
I
What do you
checked. Lisa Murkowski did receive her carve-outs. Alaskans are exempt from those cuts. She got it.
Alaska, you suck as a state. I hope that they take this and play it. I hope my picture is on every wall in Alaska and they hate me for the rest of their lives. I really do. Because you suck. Just suck as a state. Suck as people. Suck. Oh, you're Inuit? You suck. Eskimos suck. American citizen that lives in Alaska and voted for Lisa Murkowski to do this to me in St. Louis and people in Illinois. By the way, you got friends and family in Iowa.
Yeah.
They're going to lose too, Jason. And guess what?
Already losing.
I guess a big clap for that, right, Jay? Right?
Congratulations,
Clap
everyone.
for the people in Iowa losing all their shit because of Lisa Murkowski. Way to go. Jason's here. He's an Iowa resident at one point.
Yeah.
Born and raised. He loves your state and all of you. Lisa Murkowski, thank you so much for screwing over all of my friends in Iowa that I love.
And, before people say anything, people on SNAP benefits because there are cops, our firefighters.
They're you. You're literally
military,
scrolling on a phone right now, looking at us. It's you.
Some people who voted for Republicans are also on this, so it's not just.
Oh, there's liberals on Snap.
It's not welfare queens and that kind of stuff. It's regular people, and
the
them,
VA stuff's
going to
really screw the country up. Those people are going to be mad.
Yeah.
They're going to be very angry because they fought and died in some cases for this country. And if you're going to throw their lives by the wayside like you do a 6-year-old with cancer with ICE, you're now messing with them white people. They got connections. They didn't pick you in 6th grade. They grew up in your town with you. Kickball came around. You got picked last. You sucked. They were the ones who did it to you. They live right next door to you. They're the people right around you. Don't forget it. We'll be back after this.
There we are.
Welcome back.
Thank you for coming back.
Jason,
Yes.
can you throw my picture of Elon Musk up? I love my boy Elon Musk over here.
Yeah, but he's mad.
He's mad right now. He's big mad. The bill passed, so I guess Elon is going to start his new party,
Yeah.
the America Party,
That's right.
and it's going to be all the great things. Now, the reason we have this picture up there, I wish it wasn't covering your face, Jason.
No,
It's
that's fine.
so sad.
That's all.
Maybe we could do it in one of those boxes like we do the videos where we can see all
I'll
that.
just lean around it.
Either way, Trump claims he dropped the Elon drug use story to the New York Times.
So he's the ketamine guy? He's the one that dropped that?
We were just talking before the break about lawfare. Lawfare against his own party and people,
Right.
too. Do you see? Take that picture now. Do you see this?
Why would he do that?
What is the point? This dude is the worst human being to ever be president of the United States.
Like he did that to a guy that spent $250 million to help him.
To
get
help
elected.
him.
Now, granted, he did also say that he was a pedophile and went to Epstein Island, but he still gave you $250 million, and he really only did the Epstein stuff because you were already in the process of screwing him over. But these guys, man, they are the worst criminals. They're the criminals who just kill each other along until the end. They're like the Joker, just killing everyone in line.
You see, that's
Like in
funny
The
that
Dark
you say
Knight,
that
or
because
in the
he
Dark
wants to pride himself like an Al Capone, like a John Gotti. Those guys make calculated moves that they do quietly behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that they get into positions and they don't create a lot of stress and problems. And then they want to make sure all that gets worked out. By the way, you've seen a million mobster movies. Whenever there's a big war between everybody, they all come sit at the table together. They literally come sit at the table together to try to figure things out.
And he's not that kind of criminal. He thinks he's this master
He's
criminal.
the Joker.
Yeah,
he's literally just push the button over and over until it explodes, and then
He's-
push this button over and over until it explodes.
He's more of like a home invasion guy. He's just a brute force.
Like he's robbing you?
Yeah, he doesn't have any. There's no style about Trump at all.
There is no style about Trump at all.
When he was at
See?
the G7, he's got those big, giant, stupid
He's always got the
suits
dumb
and
fucking
huge leg suits.
Sorry about my cussing, guys. I'm sorry.
It just
The dumb ties that are so long they go down
Right?
to his like crotch.
right? He could literally like tuck his tie under his testicles. That's how long that tie is.
Um,
While he's standing up, by the way, not sitting
yeah.
down.
Trump basically claims that he's the one who floated the story, probably as what's his name? What's his PR name that he likes to use when he likes to talk to magazines?
Oh, he's John Barron.
John Barron
That was
probably.
one of them.
John Barron probably leaked the story to the
Yeah.
New York Times about this Elon Musk guy. Have you guys heard of Elon? I'm John Barron. Have you heard of Elon?
David Dennison or Don Dennison was the one that signed the papers with Stormy Daniels.
You're just wild, dude. Everything is crazy.
You know, you're talking about the publicist. Everyone out there is a video, if you haven't seen it or heard it, where he calls.
Oh, yeah, the
another
guy,
man,
that has the
as John Barron.
conversation.
And he's such a nutcase that John Barron can't just be John Barron, the publicist. He's John Barron, the greatest publicist ever. He literally says that. He talks about how wonderful he is at his job. That's how crazy a narcissist he is. As a fake character, that character has to be the best.
The worst president in the history of the United States.
Without a doubt.
47 presidents, the worst one.
Twice.
Even during the Civil War, they didn't hate a president as much as you could hate Donald Trump right now.
Yeah.
I had to say that
45
out
and
loud,
47,
ladies and gentlemen.
Both the worst.
It
One
was
and two.
important. Jason, this is what I want is I want a more even keel to run the United States. I want things to be a lot more. You know what? One of Donald Trump's favorite things is things the way they were during Obama and Biden. He makes them all messed up and then he reverts it right back to the way it was. So, like, I've come on this show, the last show, or many other shows, and said, last year at this time, we had somebody dropping out of the presidential race because they had a bad debate performance.
That was a bad one.
And your eggs, gas, and everything were cheaper.
Yeah, everything was better a year ago than it is right now.
Nobody was trying to run off I had a guy, I was telling the guys off the air, I had a friend of mine, he was explaining that he's in roofing, and he's got crews that work with him. And all of his guys, for the most part, no issues for many, many years. The same crews he's been working. He said, these are guys I've been working with for the last few years. So year in, year out, day in, day out, he's working with men that are going to these houses and roofing them on behalf of white Americans that vote for Donald Trump, as well as white Americans and other people that vote for everybody else too. They're just working on roofs. The roofs don't care about your political affiliation.
Nope.
They're just trying to make money and keep their roof over their heads, take care of their families. His team got picked up by ICE trying to get gas at the gas station. Not sure if it was a quick trip.
I was going to say, was it a quick trip?
I'm not sure if it was a quick trip. What I can say is that just happened today. Now he's got to go through and reset a bunch of building situations that they were working on, different projects, have to get pushed back and changed. He's got to figure out if he can get people do this. Stress for him. Big Trump supporter, by the way. He's a friend of mine.
You know, that's good.
Yeah, host the liberal Occupy Democrat show with that liberal wearing the blue Chicago hat.
Yeah.
Literally
Super
the
hated
blue
in St.
hat
Louis.
that Andrew Yang tried to make famous
Well, he didn't do it
in
very well.
2016.
He didn't put a
Same
C on
blue,
it.
nope. Same Democrats, same city of Chicago, same DNC. Boom. Same dudes, friends with Trump supporters. They're losing their asses now.
And, you know, it's going to cost that guy a lot of money because even when those guys come back, because the issues got resolved, I understand, but now he's pushed off for a couple of days. The only way to get those days back is to work on the weekends. And you're going to have to pay those guys time and a half, double time. I don't know what it is. And then that's if you get caught up. I mean, everything is going to be set aside.
This individual likes to help me with certain projects around my house. I don't mind. I'm a busy man. So this individual was calling me about a project around my house that he needed to reschedule, which I don't have a problem with it because the thing that needed to be rescheduled, not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's been sitting there for a long while now, so I'm not worried about it. But this young man, and he is young compared to me, this young man was going to work on 4th of July because of this situation. He doesn't even get to celebrate the day that Trump wants to beat his chest about so magnanimously all the time. The day that he wishes he could have had his tanks rolling down the street to celebrate his birthday and to celebrate him as president. This young man now has to work on 4th of July, roofing a house on a day everybody else is off, including the people that will be inside the house.
He's going to be roofing that house smelling those barbecues and everybody.
Yeah, he's going to be smelling a lot of barbecues, seeing a lot of beers and coolers, seeing some fireworks going off. He's not going to be enjoying any of that. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Republicans. Thank you, Trump supporters. Worthless. Yeah, I called you worthless. Worthless. You know who else is worthless, Jason? Laura Loomer.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Check out this tweet that Laura Loomer put up.
She's a... Oh.
Alligator lives matter. The good news is alligators are guaranteed at least 65 million meals if we get started now.
What are we going to unleash them on Mexico? Where are these 65 million people at?
Okay, if 65 million people are going to go through a tent city
Where
at
are we getting
CTOT
them
or
from?
where like that tent city.
Are we now going into Mexico and grabbing their citizens
All
from
I know
there?
is they're all going to go to Alligator Alcatraz, and they're
Yeah.
all going to try to escape
And get eaten.
via she really thinks this is the game show, like the Running Man. Like she really feels like by saying this, they're going to be fighting alligators and running through swamps by the hundreds, and they're going to get to film it for you all.
You know, and same thing with her. Didn't she get dumped on a while back by Trump? Over
Yeah,
stuff?
why?
Like,
What's up with it? By the way,
Don't you have shame?
look at that
pride?
picture of her. She doesn't look anything like that's from at least 5 to 7 years ago.
And like 20
She looks
filters.
nothing like that. She looks like an alien now.
Hey, that's a Tinder profile. And then you show
That
up like,
is
what?
ridiculous. You don't look. If you looked like that, you wouldn't have to date Republicans. That's the truth. If you looked like that, you wouldn't have to date Republicans. It's the ones that don't look like that. They're the ones who got it. When you start looking like an alien and an idiot like Marjorie Taylor Greene and stuff like that, yeah, you got to date Republicans. You ain't got no choice.
Yeah, she's a bad
It's mental
person.
illness. It's stupidity. Smart people like me, we don't want to deal with you. We're not taking you out to dinner. We
She's
don't
a-
want to talk to you about anything.
Well, her personality is
You're a waste.
even worse.
Now, Jason, before we get out of here on the show, and I know that how much time do I got left? Where are we at? Are we at the mark yet? 5 minutes left of the show, or 5 minutes to the mark? 5 minutes left of the show. Gotcha. Put up my pick of Chuck E. Cheese. Look at that, Jay.
That looks
Look
fun.
at that. That's called Chuck's Arcade. Chuck E. Cheese is deciding to forego children and setting up 10 new adult-themed arcades in the United States. I guess they were sick of the children getting in the way of the fistfights, Jason, because...
Yeah, children can be annoying that way.
Yeah, Chuck E. By the way, America, let's have a conversation. It's not just politics. Jason was telling me a story off the air. He went
Yes.
to a Chuck E. Cheese one time with his friend or with his family.
No,
He was
no,
at
no.
the- I'm sorry. Jason was at the hospital.
Yes, yeah.
While he
yeah.
was at the hospital with his son or somebody
Yeah, my son was ill.
dealing with an issue, people who got into a fist fight at Chuck E. Cheese had to get rushed to the hospital, and they got bumped in front of his son
They did.
to get helped.
That's a true story.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, like 2000.
You guys even fight at Chuck E. Cheese. Your kids aren't that damn important.
And it wasn't like 2 of them. It was like 7 or 8 people. It was a lot of people. It was like 3 different ambulances, 4 different ambulances, brought a bunch of people in.
Why are there always fights at Chuck E. Cheese? Why can't you guys just get drunk and go eat some waffles at 2 a.m. and not fist fight at a Waffle House?
Right?
Because Donald Trump figured you guys all out. You're easy, manipulative, and you can be manipulated. So
Maybe they didn't print
you
out.
believe in God. You believe in church every weekend. All right, I can sell you on this stuff over here too. Not saying that there isn't God. Not saying that you can't believe in religion or enjoy religion. I'm saying that they know that people that dive into religion can be easily swayed because all it takes is words on a piece of paper or somebody to pat you on the back. It doesn't require Jesus to actually show up and prove to you, I came back.
You can definitely rile people up easier using religion.
Of course. You can always use religion to rile people up.
Maybe the Chuck E. Cheese people are mad because they didn't print out like those coupons that you can get where you get like 100 tokens for
you and me
$50.
What if you and me went to the Chuck E. Cheese arcade and tried to start the fight? Tried to like create the fist fight
Do they sell
at the
pizza?
Chuck E. Cheese arcade.
Is Chucky there? Like this cartoon-looking rat walking
I don't
around?
know.
Like, well, how do they make it?
They did say they were going to have the animatronics involved in the story that I was reading. They said that they were going to still have animatronics that they were going to have involved at the arcade.
Then I want them opening up their song list. I want that set list to be a little deeper for that band.
Absolutely not.
Right?
Who's on your shirt?
That's Uncle S and the
No,
Deadbeats.
no, we do not want you in charge of our song list. You think Iron Maiden's a real band. You think that they exist.
So awful.
And you know who else agrees with me? Everybody in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Everyone. For the last 50 years. For the last 50 years, everyone has agreed with Mark Bland about Iron Maiden and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There you go.
Well, we'll see what the comments say.
And by the way, when I
Maiden's
became
beloved.
a Flyers fan and stopped being a Blues fan for 19 straight years, I was 100% right about the Blues. Actually, for longer than that. It was 2019 when they won. So
That was 2019.
go back to 94, 95.
Oh, yeah.
Add
a lot of
another
time.
6, 7 years. 27 years?
Yeah. look
There
at
you go. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to try to count it up. I don't care. It's not important. We just lost Medicaid and Medicare today. You're going to lose your VA benefits. We're going to start a civil war. We got the civil division crew ready to go. Laura Loomer thinks 65 million people are going to run like the Running Man through Alligator Auschwitz or whatever it's called. All right.
That place isn't even that big to hold that many people. That's just going to be a rotating, constant thing.
To finish this show, I've got some debates.
Yes.
We call these the worst debates of all time. You and me are going to go through a couple of
All
them.
right.
And let's debate a little bit.
do it.
We might not even debate. We might just agree on whatever it is
Right.
that the stance is.
Check it. Move on.
Yeah, we might just check it and move on. So check this out. Ice cream is better than cake. I don't know that ice cream, in my opinion, is better than cake.
I think so.
I like icing
Yeah.
and the flavor of it. I'm way more down for that than ice cream.
Now
all
maybe
the time.
together they're better together than separate. No, I could go
Favorite
with
ice
that.
cream?
I'm
a Rocky Road guy. What about
I
you?
do like Rocky Road. I'm a sherbet guy as well.
Oh, sherbet's always great.
Yeah.
Underappreciated, I feel.
Yeah.
Sherbet's a very underappreciated one, especially raspberry.
But don't sleep on a nice vanilla. You can do a lot with it.
Now, leftover pizza is better cold than reheated. What do you think, Metro? Pizza better cold or reheated? He says
Yeah.
reheated. What do you think?
Maybe back in the early
Have
days.
you ever done the cold thing?
Oh, sure. But
I
maybe,
never do
Never?
it. I always reheat.
Yeah.
I don't do the cold thing. I
But
don't
once-
like the way it tastes.
once convection ovens became a thing, that's the way to reheat your pizza.
But if your pizza's cold and you bite into cold pepperoni and cold cheese and you chomp down on it, it's cold.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
So it doesn't taste good. The flavor leaves when it's cold. It's got to be hot.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I've eaten it, but
All right,
It's
last
chewy.
one. And I think that I've got a couple others we can talk about off the air, but I think you'll like this one. People should be allowed to go barefoot anywhere they want. And I understand the argument for this one. Their argument is simply this. If we didn't have rules and laws or shoes, like we just didn't make shoes, we would all be barefoot anyway. So everywhere we would go would have to be barefoot. So whether it's a house or a business or this or that, you would have to go barefoot if you didn't have anything at all, right? If you were homeless and had no money, no nothing,
Yeah.
you might not have shoes. You'd have to go barefoot. That's where this argument comes in. Now, people should be allowed to go barefoot anywhere they want. What do you think?
Well, I guess I don't know the argument. What's different? What's under my shoes and what's under my feet? Like if I'm walking around
Right,
the
yeah,
store,
I think people should be able to go barefoot wherever they want.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
mean-
it's going to matter. And by the way, when you're barefoot and talking to someone, I'm not paying attention to your shoes. I'm not looking at your feet. I'm
Yeah,
listening to
no.
the conversation you're
this
having.
would be
with
like
people.
a safety thing. You don't want to get people's feet hurt.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a cathartic show for me. It allowed me to get out a few things that I've been wanting to say for quite a while. I want to thank all of you for paying attention to us. Like, share, and retweet this show. Go ahead. Listen to us on our audio version. That's right. This show is an audio version also that you can find at Apple Podcast and anywhere, Spotify, wherever you get your favorite podcast. You can find this show there. It's not just a live show like that. Share, like, retweet, tell your friends, tell your family members. Make sure you follow us down here at this stuff. See that?
Yeah.
That's what I want you to follow us at. I go by Mark Bland. He goes by Featherbangs over there. So make sure
Only
you
on
follow all
Twitter.
that. Only on Twitter?
Yeah, don't look for Featherbangs anywhere
Sorry,
else.
only on Twitter.
Yeah, my name
Not
and
TikTok.
everything else.
TikTok hates us.
I don't think I have a TikTok.
And finally, make sure you follow us, these guys right here, the Occupy Democrat Show. Occupy Democrats on all of our social media handles at Occupy Democrats. That's going to do it for me, Jason. Anything else you want to say?
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
Yeah, have a great 4th of July. Make sure you be safe. Don't hurt yourself.
Don't blow your fingers
Don't
off.
blow no fingers off. I don't want to come in talking. Hey, listen, I might shoot off some fireworks with my son. We can shoot them off here in the state of Missouri. So we're going to do some of that, and I want you all to have a great 4th of July because I'm really serious. This might be the last 4th of July before things start to get really crazy next year. Because on that 4th of July, it's going to be the 250th anniversary. So there's going to be a lot of celebration, obviously. But I also feel like it's lining up to be the best opportunity for Donald Trump to try to do some beat his chest America first patriot crap and think that the civil division is going to set itself up. So be careful. Have a great 4th of July. We'll see you next time on the Occupy Democrats show.